Anyone who uses a bot, I'm sorry, but anyone who uses a bot, I really dislike you because you took away a lot of my shoes in the childhood.
What up, everyone? We are back with another episode of the SoleSavy podcast, and as always, a special guest, Cassius. How you doing, man?
Good, thanks for having me.
How's the off season been so far?
It's been good. It's just been giving me a lot of time to, work out, work on my game. It's giving me like a normal sense of life since the past couple months. It's kind of good to just be back to like a normal world for me.
Any sense of normalcy after the last 16 months is a welcome sight for all of us. I do have to ask, did you actually make a random trip to get in and out recently? You made a whole day of that?
The premise was to go do something, but then I was also like, in and out isn't bad. So I kind of just like scrapped the thing I was going to do and just went for in and out.
Gotcha.
But ended up staying for a couple of weeks.
Nice. Fair enough. I always like to take it back to people's sneaker origins. Like, do you have an origin story that just, you can look back on and be like, this is when I really felt like sneakers was something I cared about?
It really was just like the beginning times of like playing basketball. Growing up in LA, obviously Kobe Bryant, a huge staple piece in basketball. And kind of just everything that was like revolving around life when I was younger. I just remember it really kind of started from the Kobe's, like 3, 4, 5, 6, like that area, that time was like my sneaker, like when it started, like those are my Jordans. So like, yeah, even looking back now, like I think this year they retroed the Grinch, right?
Yes.
The Grinch.
Very,
yeah. That's like my bread one. That's like my
your grail. Yeah.
That's my grail. Like I never got it as a kid. Didn't catch it like during the time I was, not signed to Puma and was able to get Nike shoes. But that's always gonna be a grail. Even when I'm older, it's always gonna be a grail. So I kind of just started from Kobe's really.
So you played at Sierra Canyon, Team Why Not AAU. What was the sneaker like kind of just scene between the team? There must have been a lot of different heat and a lot of different shoes going around.
High school was definitely just like heat all the time. It was me, Kenyon Martin Jr., Scottie Pippen. So it was a lot of heat going around. I mean, the shoe that was like a big thing for us, that was like during the time when Virgil dropped was 10. Me and KJ got like the Hyper Dunks. We had a plug and somehow found a way to get them before like everyone dropped. And I transferred schools, and so I had to there was like a sit out period. But luckily, like during that period, I still had enough time to wear it, like my first game before they came out. So, we would always just try to find a way to get our hands on, the craziest shoes and make sure everyone knew that, we had the plugs like that.
From college to now Puma, how long have you been with Team Puma?
4 or 5 months.
What has that experience been like? Because like for me, I've loved to see the innovation and what Puma's really been up to.
They've been great. Like we just talked about, just like dealing with COVID and the things that you miss, and so I'm still communicating with everybody virtually over text and things like that. So, but they've been great. Pretty much every week I get a notification saying you got a package, come sign for it, put up, and it's always a new drop, new capsule. And the thing that surprises me is just the collabs. This is the Puma Haribo collab.
Nice. Like that all red.
The gummy bear. Got the gummy bear in the back.
Oh, that's awesome. I love the details.
Yeah, so this is like a more of a canvas shoe. This is I like this one a lot. This is one of my favorite just like models. This one, and then like there's like a Ralph Sampson. That's kind of looks like this, but just like the flat canvas look, I think goes with so many things. Especially like a nice sweatsuit. I
got the Rugrats collab sent, and I opened the box. I'm like, holy shit, I haven't thought about the Rugrats in a decade. I can't believe this is something they pulled out. And I think recently there's a 2K21 pair. I don't know if you've seen those Pumas come through. Yeah, they've been. I like the storytelling of it, because sometimes I just feel like stores or brands will put out sneakers or colors that don't really have anything tied to them, and it's hard to attach yourself to it. But when you can, bring up something from your childhood, it makes it a little bit more fun. You had the opportunity to be in the dunk contest this year. Talk me through it, just that whole experience. What did that mean to you?
No, it was super cool. I was doing my time in the G League at the moment, so we had like a G League bubble in Orlando, and so I got the call from my GM from the Pacers, just telling me like, hey, they invited you, no pressure if you want to do it, if you don't want to do it. And I was kind of just leaning back and forth because it was, I was in the bubble at the time. it was COVID. I mean, it was just like so many things. And I just, I was going back and forth saying, do I want to do it now? Do I want to wait a year when it's like back to normal? But for me, I just kind of saw it as a great opportunity to just, go out there, have fun, put my name out there. And so it was really fun. And it was just a really interesting preparation period. I mean, just me being in a different space and having to practice like dunking. That's like one thing that you don't really ever think of, like you're gonna have to sit down and practice. So it was definitely fun, and I'm definitely gonna do it again.
Nice. Yeah, because I always wonder when people end up in the dunk contest, is it something where you're actively like going to the league like, hey, I can do this, I can win this, let me have my shot? Or do you get handpicked by someone? Like, how do they know you're the guy for this?
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of a shock to me. I mean, I thought I was gonna have to like do a little campaign, like maybe 2 or 3, like let hashtag like Cassius dunk or something. So like when they came out and just straight up invited me, I was like super humbled. I was super blessed. I was like, wow, man, like, off rip rookie year, they already think about me, to go out there and kind of, be a catalyst to represent, because, nationally, globally, people watch the dunk contest. So for them to even think about me as a rookie to do it was so cool. And I think that's definitely a relationship that helped. And so, I'm very gracious and they know that. So, every time, I told them every year, if you're thinking about somebody, I'll definitely do it again.
Yeah. What's your sneaker rotation and routine like on the court? I know some guys will wear the same shoe until it's just beat to the ground. Some guys will change their sneakers every game. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I guess the more I grew up and the more mature I got, the more it was like, I'm not really worried about like changing shoes. But like middle school, it was like I could never repeat kind of thing. It was always like this game I'm gonna do this game. Like if I had a tournament, I'd pack like 8 shoes. High school, we kind of said like we're gonna try to switch it up every single game, which did lead to some stupid decisions on our part by bringing out shoes that had no business being on the basketball court. I remember we had summer league and I brought out like some like Space Jam 9, like the Space Jam 9 is like the white and black and like the original colorway.
Yeah.
I mean, 9s aren't really necessarily like the best shoe to play in, especially now. That was like 2018, 2019. And that didn't work out too well. I was slipping everywhere. And then like the next game I brought out like some 5 lows, and it was just bad decision making on my part, but just to say like, hey, I wore them.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like the worst shoe I really brought out was I wore my Supreme 5s in high school at the time. Because like I had a Supreme. It was like at the time when like JR was wearing the Supreme sleeve.
Yeah.
So I was like, I got the Supreme sleeve and I got the Supreme shoes, and I literally broke them out. Like didn't even wear them. Like they were iced like for like 2 years, and I was like, I'm gonna wear them on the court. I wore them on the court. I literally played like dog crap, just horrible. Never wore them again, on the court or off the court, and I'm so mad because I burned them basically for nothing. Like I just broke the ice for nothing.
Those are heavy, right? Like they made those for MJ because he was tearing through his other sneakers, and to put those on, like that's a tough sneaker to hoop in.
Yeah, and that was before I was wearing like insoles, like the orthotics and stuff like that. So I'm sitting here like playing on the flat, just surface. That was terrible. All through high school, I was doing stupid stuff like that. College, when I got to Duke, it was more just like, all right, we have every single Nike model you can think of in a Duke colorway. Which one do you want? And I went with the Giannis Freak one, and I kept that throughout the whole season, never changed. And then once I got to like the beginning stages of like my rookie year, like you said, I played on Team Why Not. So Russ kind of just would send me like, big boxes full of just all his player editions, and I'd rotate through that. And then once I got with Puma, the Dreamer, RS Dreamer, and so we have 3 flavors of this one. There's this one. There's like an electric blue, and then there's like a lime green Volt or lime yellow Volt coming out, I think next month. And this is my favorite, I think, Puma model. This RS Dreamer, it's so comfortable. I wear it in the dunk contest. So like most of the time, if you see me on court, that's kind of what I'm gonna wear.
Man, how many pairs of shoes do you have now then? I feel like listening to you talk, you're pushing the hundreds.
Oh man. So it's just a weird thing. It's like some days I'll look in my closet and I swear I have a lot of shoes. Then some days I swear I have no shoes. But it's like high school to college, I think I lost some shoes like going from LA to North Carolina. But then the worst was when the COVID hit, and it was like I was in North Carolina because our regional tournament for NCAA ACC was in North Carolina also. So we were just like down the state like an hour. COVID hit, we all drove back to campus, kind of packed up our things, but I still had to ship a bunch of boxes and things like that from North Carolina back to LA. I don't know what happened there because I swear there was a period where just like, everybody had that great period during those like March area where it was just like the world was shut down. And so, I mean, like when it came back to normal and it was like maybe September and it was like, all right, now I got to start packing my stuff up to go wherever city I'm going to get drafted to. I'm looking at my closet. I'm like, man, I thought I had this shoe. I thought I had this shoe. I thought I had this shoe. And I don't know if it's still in the room in North Carolina at the dorms. I don't know what happened, but someone at Duke University has a good amount of shoes. I don't know who's in that dorm now.
So you think it's just all sitting in that same dorm room? Where
I think I was in such a rush that I left at least I know at least 2 or 3 of the shoes that I left. Oh. I think. I'm pretty sure. Someone
at Duke got really lucky with some.
Yeah, they got lucky. Sure.
Yeah. So what's your collection set up like right now? Are we in the Khaled? We have a whole room with walls, or?
Well, the thing about it is like in my apartment in Indiana, it's like I was signed with Puma mid-year, so I just didn't really get a chance to like clear off the Nike shelf and like re-up with the Puma. So I have a guest room. And so I kind of have all my Puma stuff in the guest room. So I don't even like go in the Nike room anymore because, I mean, what am I going to do? But in there I've got all the off-white ones except the North Carolina colorway because I went to Duke and I'm not going to wear any.
You can't do it.
Yeah, but I've got the Euros, I've got the Chicagos, I've got my Dior One Lows. I've got all the Travis Scott collabs. I've got my Bread 4s. Those are like the ones I know on my shelf that I'm kind of just keep there. And it's like, sometimes I'll pull them out and sometimes I just leave them.
What's it been like expanding your collection into another brand? Like for me personally as a sneakerhead, I've loved the last 2 years because you have Puma, you have New Balance, even Adidas, like the space is much more competitive. There's more innovation. Everyone's trying different things. And I'm looking at different things I buy. I'm like, damn. 5 years ago, there was no way I was buying this, but now I'm adding it to my collection.
I was surprised. I mean, I knew not a lot, but I knew a good amount about Puma's lifestyle. I knew it was very like European influence. They sent me like 2 boxes immediately of just lifestyle stuff. And, I opened it up and I saw all kinds of different kind of like shoes, like canvas shoes, running shoes, training shoes. I mean, they did a collab with Balmain. Like they've got a lot of collabs that just sometimes you don't even notice. And so I enjoy it a lot because I don't know as much as, like the normal person would about like a Jordan or a Nike, but I just learn as much as like, the normal person does. Like I'll go online and I'll just look up like past collabs and say, all right, well, just like a retro Jordan, they did a collab with The Weeknd. And now it's like, all right, let me see if I can find online if I can get the Weeknd Puma collab. And then
right.
So that's kind of how I do like the retro sense in Puma.
I guess my generation, I feel old now, but like, Jordans, right? You're the Kobe generation growing up. And I think there's a new generation of sneakerheads coming up that's a lot more diverse in, the collection and what things are wearing. And to that degree, like for Puma, having the Jay-Z and the J. Cole cosign goes a long way for the brand, absolutely. Yeah,
those are 2 big people to have culturally. I mean, Jay-Z obviously being, I think he's like our brand ambassador. He was like him and Nipsey were like the people once I signed with Puma, I literally like looked up, all right, how are they wearing their sweatsuits? How are they wearing their Clydes, their Ralph Sampsons? Like, how are they doing that? And so then I would kind of just like say, all right, this is how they styled it, and let me just add my own taste to it.
Yeah. And speaking on sweatsuits, Puma sponsors a lot of F1 in Europe. You've been rocking a lot of different stuff. Tell us about the kind of the style and the swag coming from that side of the world.
Oh, that was like the first thing I got on the site. Like I literally went on the site and I looked at collections and it said, I think it said motorsport. That's under motorsport, and I clicked it. My first car that I bought, like right when I got into the NBA, was a BMW. So nice. They have the BMW, and so like I was like, yeah, this is crazy. So I literally ordered everything from the BMW collab, and I mean, like they just have so many things. They have BMW, Ferrari, Porsche, Mercedes, AMG. I think I said Ferrari already, but like, I mean, the fact that they have the rights to those kind of, high-level brands. I mean, I know I got my dad. He loves walking around in like this like Ferrari and sweatsuit. Like he like walks around. He thinks he's got like these like European he's got like these European shoes that he adds to him, and he like walks around. He swears he's like Enzo Ferrari or somebody, just like out here being like the spokesperson. And so I think that's like one of the most favorite things is just like the F1, the motorsport collabs.
Off the court, what's your style like? What are you wearing? How do you come to the arena?
It all depends on like how I feel during the day. I mean, like if it's like during the day and like I'm just really lazy, I'll just throw on like a sweatsuit. I mean, that's one of the beauties I love about signing with Puma was like their sweatsuit game is, I think, like up there with like that Nike Tech fleece. Like we just have so many just like calm, just black and white, like normal, like solid colors sweatsuits that like you don't even notice he's really wearing a sweatsuit. Like when you see Jay-Z, if you really think about it, most of the time he's wearing like a black on black Puma, Puma sweatsuit. Yeah. But like you don't notice like, man, this guy's wearing a sweatsuit. It's just like Puma.
What are your thoughts on, getting the latest shoes? Like, how are you going about it? What does it look like? I know now you have the Puma plug, but like growing up, what would you do to get a pair of J1s or whatever it might be that you wanted?
Oh, first, bots. Anyone who uses a bot, I'm sorry, but anyone who uses a bot, I really dislike you because you took away a lot of my shoes as a child. It was just like sometimes I'd really put a lot of effort. Like, all right, I'm gonna set the timer. I'm gonna go on sneakers. I'm gonna go on Nike.com. I'm gonna set the timer. I'll go on my phone, my laptop, whatever. Refresh it. Time to go. And I'm like, man, it's just like. And certain times, like as I got older, I stopped saying it. I was like, I'm not even gonna go on it. I'm not gonna waste my time. The bots. But then there was this one time, I was in class and I just randomly went on the sneakers app and I refreshed and it was like a shock drop of the, I want to say it was a Chicago one when Virgil did it. And I was just randomly there. And I was like, all right, there's no way I'm not going to get this shoe. I had it all ready to go. And of course, somebody with a bot took it. And so that's when I was really like, all right, I'm done with bots. Anyone who uses a bot, don't talk to me anymore.
For me, like, yes, the shoes is fun and getting them is fun, but the actual community around it and everything that goes into that is just as important, the experience, right? Just enjoying the thrill of that cop can sometimes go a longer way than actually getting it.
Oh, for sure. Especially if it's a grail of yours. Like once you, like that moment when you secure that box. And like for me, it would always be like, I'd secure the box. I'd walk out the store all cool, casual, like, appreciate it, I'd get in the car. And I'd just be driving with a smile, like, oh man, I can't believe it. I'd like be at a stoplight and I'd look and be like, no way, I really got the shoe. That's the best feeling.
I'll just take a quick peek. I'll keep my eye on the road, but I'll just take a quick peek.
That's the best.
It's dangerous. It's dangerous. Pivoting to basketball a little bit. You just had your rookie season, got another season in the NBA coming up here. More of a, I think, normal season, fair to say. Schedule, a timeline. What are you looking forward to? What are you expecting from this season? Yeah, what's on the trajectory for you?
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to getting back to playing, getting back in the routine of getting ready for games and practicing, and it's just about making gradual steps, about longevity, having a long career. So I'm just doing the things that I need to do, paying my dues as a young player in the league, and just being able to stay down and be prepared for whenever my time's called to step up in a big way. And so I'm just looking forward to just keep getting better and being ready and able for my opportunity when it comes.
Cassius, thanks for joining us. It was my pleasure to have you on and talk sneakers, basketball, and a little bit of everything. Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.